Welcome to the Sports Hit List by the fans, for the fans. I'm Tom Kenny, along with Michael Murillo. Michael.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing well. And from Under the Ring podcast, very own Zack Droll. Zack?
Thank you for having me. How you doing today?
Thank you for joining us. I'm doing great. So today we're here to discuss Orange Cassidy. He's a pro wrestler for AEW's Wrestling League on TNT and their show Dynamite. We have some differentiating opinions on Mr. Orange Cassidy, and we're going to discuss them today. So leading off with you, Michael, just give your opening statements about what you think about Orange Cassidy.
First off, what I want to do is I want to shake your hand because I don't want to make this personal. We have class together, and I have a feeling that after this, it's going to be personal, but I don't want to make it personal.
Okay.
First off, he's a horrible wrestler. That's all I'm going to say right there. He's horrible. The fact that he has fans just disgusts me, and I'm sorry, but for like the next how long we're here, you kind of disgust me.
Zack, a rebuttal to those that strong opening statement from Mr. Murillo.
By calling him a horrible wrestler, like, do you think he would have been signed by All Elite Wrestling? Like, do you think a bad wrestler gets signed to probably what is now the #2 company in the world?
Well, I mean, of course, they're a complete joke at times. Dude, they signed a dinosaur, for God's sake. I mean, come on.
Okay, so we'll break down into this now. Mike, so you're saying he's not a good wrestler. So what, in your eyes, if he's not a good wrestler, what would make a good wrestler? Why is he not a good wrestler in your eyes? He is on a professional wrestling league that's on mainstream TV. Why is he, in your eyes, not good?
Well, I don't even know. Some people don't even know because he doesn't wrestle. I mean, what are you going to know about a guy when he does this? When he puts his hands in his pocket.
So
he doesn't wrestle. I mean,
but you're saying he doesn't wrestle, so you've watched his matches and you're saying he doesn't wrestle.
I haven't seen a couple of his matches, but I have seen.
Wait, you have or haven't seen a couple of his matches?
I have seen like 2 matches in which they're just complete joke.
So, Zack, what do you have to say to this? I feel like you have a lot of energy you want to bring to this conversation.
First off,
Okay,
2 matches. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here. I have watched every single match available on YouTube, and you're saying, oh, he's a terrible wrestler. Have you not seen him do a Canadian Destroyer?
Dude, some of the people don't even know what a Canadian Destroyer is.
Fine.
Stop saying that.
A Panama Sunrise.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
But to the more logical wrestling fans out there, it's called a Panama Sunrise.
Okay, yeah, break the fourth wall. That's real nice. Go ahead. Keep on go. I'm waiting.
Hey, and also,
go ahead, continue.
To someone like he is the most over wrestler in the independent scene, along with AEW. Whenever he makes an appearance on TV, the crowd erupts. And also, you're saying. Also, you're doing this? No, it's this. Get it right. And hands in his pockets. He is the only wrestler to do a kip-up, which is very hard to do without your hands.
Wow. That, you know what? TK, let's put our hands together for that. Because look at him. Obviously, he's preaching nonstop. Listen, man. You cannot convince me he's a good wrestler. You cannot convince the audience he's a good wrestler. He's an enigma. I'll tell you that much. He's an enigma.
He's more or less prolific.
Okay, now you're just going insane, right? Seriously.
So
the Undertaker's pro. I mean, you know what? Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
All right, so we could say that he is an entertainer, and there is comedy wrestling in wrestling. We've seen this with The Rock and Mankind, Damian Sandow and The Miz. For anyone who's a wrestling fan, you can kind of think of some things that are funny. Santino Marella. Throughout the history, there's been a lot of comedy wrestling. So do you think comedy wrestling, is that devalued? Is that not good wrestling to you? Is that why you don't think Orange Cassidy is good, Mike?
Listen, you have to wrestle, bro. It's just as simple as that. Like, independent wrestling.
But Mike, you're only saying you have to wrestle. You're not giving really any other things of why you don't think he's any good. Like, what makes him not good is he not good as a comedy wrestler? Or do you not find him entertaining?
I don't find him entertaining. What's so entertaining about putting your hands in your pocket? Fine. I'll put my hands in my pocket right now. I'll put my hands in my pocket.
Can you do a kip-up right now?
Yeah,
How about this? Can you do a kip-up with hands in your pockets?
I'm athletic. Yeah, sure. I'm not going to do it here because then I give myself a concussion, but yeah, sure. Go ahead.
A kip-up
if I was
medically
medically
concussion,
no, right here on the set, then it would be a different story. If we were like, we were in a trampoline, I'd do it. I'm not
trampoline. Okay.
I'm not trained to be a wrestler.
Definitely, a wrestling ring is a trampoline.
I'm not medically cleared to be a wrestler, but if I was, I would be able to do that. Tom would be able to do that. You'd be able to do that. Anybody would be able to do that. That is, I mean, come on.
Okay. So Zack, he's saying that, what do you think about the comedy wrestling? Obviously, Orange Cassidy is a great athlete. So just tell us more about Orange Cassidy and what you've seen him wrestle. Obviously, he's only seen 2 matches.
I've seen Orange Cassidy wrestle almost everywhere within the independent scene. He has versed the likes of Kylie Ray. He has versed David Starr. And he has versed a bunch of other wrestlers who do not take him seriously.
Did you just say women? Kylie Ray, did you just say woman?
Let me finish. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll get to that. With him, like he has done all this wrestling, and a lot of people don't take him seriously. But when he puts himself into full gear, he can go ham. He does like he does a spinning DDT. He does a stunner. He does a hurricanrana with just by doing this too. He does a hurricanrana doing that. He does topes with his hands in his pocket. Which once again, topes, if you're a wrestler, you want to protect yourself from that landing, so you use your hands.
Oh really? You mentioned Kylie Ray, but she's a woman.
Well, I think that's a different discussion. We're just talking about his wrestling abilities. And we're talking about his wrestling abilities. We watched a little clip beforehand of him reversing a suplex into a stunner. If he could do things like that, Mike, even with the comedy, can you say that he would be a decent, at least decent, proficient hand in the ring?
An athlete, that's all I'll say. Athletic, an athlete, simple as that.
All right, so your opinion, he's an athlete. What would take him, in your opinion, from an athlete to a professional wrestler? In your opinion, what would Orange Cassidy have to do to gain your respect?
Okay, first off, cut some promos and wrestle on live TV. There you go. I got it. And dude, just cut promos. Don't be afraid to talk, man.
Do you think...
Honestly, you have a voice. Talk.
Okay, but for example, in terms of cutting promos, Kane was very, very over when he first came in. Kane was a great wrestler when he first came in. He didn't talk for a couple of years. So I don't know if that, if it's his style to not talk, how can you hold that against him? Zach, would you like to say something?
So the reason why he's not on TV as much, okay. Do you want to overuse someone? Do you want to shove it down people's throat? Think of the Fiend. He was not being used. Now he's being used. He's shoved down our throats. Orange Cassidy is not being used that much. He's not on TV. But when he has wrestled once on AEW Dark against Pac and TH2, he was really good. Pac put him over. So, by you saying that he is not athletic, he's not this, he's not that.
I never said that. I said he's athletic. That's all that matters.
He's athletic, but he is a damn good wrestler.
You know what? Tone it down, because I could see you're getting real passionate about this guy.
Well, it's
and
okay
this guy
to get passionate.
is not worth to get passionate about.
It's worth getting passionate about because you're discrediting someone from being a professional wrestler. Like, do you think he was always a comedy guy?
Yes.
Wrong. He changed up his gimmick because he was a high spot person. He did not want to be this person who does a moonsault or a swanton. He wanted to change up his gimmick to be something different. If you're different, you catch eyes. He is the most booked person on the independent scene.
Okay, the most booked person. Wow, he makes $200. Amazing. That's great. They need people to fill up those spots, Zach. It's as simple as that, bro. That guy is not a good wrestler, okay?
Zach, you work for a local independent organization. What are the feelings of some of the wrestlers in that organization? Do they have the same feelings as Mike, or as they are in the business, do they have the same feelings maybe more towards you?
I had the pleasure of talking to one of the wrestlers, and he said he did not like him at first, but he recently saw him at a show that he worked at, and he said his opinion changed. He does not like his hands in his pockets, but he cannot discredit. But he cannot discredit a gimmick that works, because he knows he gets the crowd over, and that works. He cannot discredit him if that works.
So, Mike, say you're booking a promotion, and you know Orange Cassidy is going to put the butts in the seats. Do you book Orange Cassidy, even with your views of him?
He's not putting any butts in seats. That's the issue, though. You know, like my dad went to a wrestling show, and I told him, "Do you know who this Orange Cassidy guy is?" And he's like, "No, I have no idea who this Orange
That's also
Cassidy guy is."
because that's an older demographic.
Older? Okay, how old? Go ahead.
Okay, if you look at AEW's statistics via wise, it's the 18 to 34-year-olds, and therefore Orange Cassidy is appealing to more of the Gen Z and the millennial demographic. A lot of people like him. I believe me and you had a discussion. You have seen in wrestling forums that a lot of people are for Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
AEW, CW, okay. Is
AEW,
insane.
WCW, what?
Yeah, the WCW Junior at this point they're turning into. Okay?
Depending on those
You know
ratings,
what I mean?
no, they're not.
Yeah, WCW had a lot of jokes. They had this one pop group. He's a joke, okay? Wrestle. Stop going like this, you know.
This. It's not this. It's
He
this.
does
We
this at
seem to have a
times.
lot of thumb arguments here, but let's wrap it up with some final thoughts, and let's stay away from the thumbs, okay? Mike, since you led off, we'll let you lead off finishing. Your final thoughts on Orange Cassidy. Make a case right now of why he is not a good wrestler, because it seems to be been bouncing all over the place. So let's hear your final argument, and then Zach, you'll respond, and we'll wrap this thing up and let you, the viewer, decide.
Okay, simple. Wrestle on TV. Cut a promo. Be a single wrestler. Stop making your high spot to put your hands in your pocket, because that's getting over redundant, okay? And stop going like this, because that's just stupid. Simple as that, man. Go ahead.
Zach?
My closing argument is, I am predicting right now, by the year 2023, he will be tag team champions with the Best Friends.
2023.
2023
Okay, yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
I'm calling it
2023, yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
now. February 19th, 2020, as of 5/18.
Okay,
he will
Nostradamus.
be
Okay, Nostradamus.
he will be the tag team champions
Sure,
with
Nostradamus.
the Best Friends.
That company won't even be around, so okay, Nostradamus, go ahead.
Well, WWE probably won't be around either.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
all right,
considering
Nostradamus.
AEW just signed a 2-year deal, I think they'll both
3
be
year.
around, and I hope they're both around, because the more wrestling,
So
the better.
too.
Am I correct, guys?
Yes.
Mike, thank you so much for coming out and having a discussion
Thank
with
you.
us.
I hope to come back.
I hope to have you back.
Thank you.
Zach Droll from
Thank
Under
you
the
for
Ring
having me.
podcast. Make sure you check it out. Zach, you want to plug that a little bit before we get out of
Yeah,
here?
you guys want to check out my podcast? It's From Under the Ring on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at From Under the Ring Podcast. And yeah.
Awesome. And I'm Tom Kenny for the Sports Hit List podcast. You can catch all this and more on our Facebook page, on our Instagram. We just launched a Twitter, Sports Hit List. Make sure you check us out. By the fans, for the fans. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.